Welcome to Tottenham Hot Takes. I'm Nige from Pure Coys TV, joined by Alan from Tottenham Logic TV. And this is a show where we cut through the noise and get straight to it. No waffle, no fence sitting. Each week, we pick three big questions that are dominating the Spurs conversation, the debates, the drama, and the decisions that could shape the season. Three questions, honest opinions, proper Tottenham talk. Let's get into it. Big up, Alan. How you doing, mate?
Yes, mate, all good. Since we last spoke, a lot has changed in that short amount of time. So I'm sure we'll get all into it, mate. But yeah, looking forward to tonight, mate.
Yeah, no, it should be a good one, mate. Before we start, please like the stream, subscribe to both channels. Alan's link will be in the description and it will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. So please get over and subscribe to Alan's channel. Let's get into the first question, mate. Here we go. What do you think of Igor's first interview?
Do you want me to go on this one first, mate? Yeah.
Yeah, you go first, mate.
All right. Okay. So it was refreshing. That's a good start for me. It may have been a PR thing where they've said to him, this is the things you need to say because this is what Frank was lacking. So maybe that was part of it. But if it was all natural and it was him saying it, then it was refreshing. It was saying the right things. He was saying things like, we must not go for draws. That's impossible. We need to go for wins. And if you compare that to Frank, he was saying things like, we will lose games. You know, that's basically saying nothing. That's just basically telling you what you already know, but you're not really motivating anybody. But with this guy, he's saying the right things. He's saying that, you know, he wants to go into the Arsenal game. He knows it's a big derby and he wants to go and win that game. He's not saying Arsenal. Do you know what I noticed as well? He never said anything good about Arsenal. He didn't say anything. He didn't say they were a good team. They were a top team. He didn't say that they were best team in Europe like they claim and all that. He said it's a big derby and we're going to go there to try and win it. And that's all he said about it. And I think that was brilliant because it was short and sweet to the point, but didn't big them up at all. But and again, if you compare that to Frank, all he kept going on about was how good Arsenal are. And we didn't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. We know the obvious. We just don't want to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? That's the last thing we want to hear. So I think a lot of the stuff he was saying was spot on. There's a lot of work to do. They need to do a lot more running. He was talking about the running, which was good. He was saying if you run that extra 10 kilometers each player, that's like having an extra player. I was like, that's pretty decent as well. It's a good way of looking at it in a way. So yeah, he's given me that little bit of hope that I didn't want to have. You know, like, you know, as a Spurs fan, you always get that hope and then you get killed by it every time. And I didn't want it, but he's given it to me. What did you think of it, mate?
Yeah, I'm very similar. He has weird. I've got a bit of a Banks in me now. I'm suddenly thinking, oh, maybe I'm suddenly not thinking about relegation. That's out of my head at the moment. That could change by the end of the weekend. But right now, I'm thinking a couple of wins, we can move up that table. And I love the fact that he started off by saying, you know, the best of the best. You know, which, like I say, I'm not sure whether he's talking about Tottenham being the best of the best, but as in the Premier League, you know, and Spurs being part of it. You know, Frank come in and said, we're going to lose games. Well, yeah, we know that. We're Tottenham fans, right?
Exactly.
We lose a lot. So we don't want to hear it. We want to hear some positivity. So as soon as, you know, Tudor comes in and starts saying about, you know, best of the best, like you say, no excuses. You know, the players need to step up, you know, but also he said offensive football, but smart football, which I really like what he said there as well. And there was just a little paragraph that he said that I wanted to read out, which I really liked. And he said this, he said, what I said from the first day here is each of us, each of the players need to give something more, something extra, because the position of the club in this moment is not one that anybody can accept. Every fan of Tottenham cannot accept the situation. We are aware of that, but it's not good enough just to be aware of it, which I think is spot on. You know, the players need to know, you know, it's no good just being aware. They need to actually do something about it. So, yeah, I thought it was a fantastic interview. And, you know, let's watch us lose 5-0 now, opening game. But hopefully we won't. Hopefully
he said all the right things anyway. So good start.
Yeah, he did. All right, getting on to the second question. And guys, let us know in the chat what you thought of the first interview as well. Be interesting to hear. North London Derby week. How do Spurs go about beating Arsenal?
So I was on the Spurs Kings channel yesterday, and we were speaking about this as well. And all we want to see as fans is we want to see passion, we want to see fight, we want to see us creating chances. We don't want to see us sitting back and just allowing Arsenal to have waves and waves of attacks. We don't want to see what we saw under Frank when he played 8 defensive players against Arsenal because he respected them way too much. We want to see us go in to try and beat them, and if we end up losing, the fans won't be so upset about it. I doubt any fans would boo if we were at them from minute 1 to minute 90 and they just ended up being the better side, if that happened. But if this guy can motivate them, kick them up the arse, have the new manager bounce, have the passion, the fight, and the running that he was talking about, then we have a chance. Because it's the annual bottling season for Arsenal now. It's all the pressure's on them. There's no pressure on us at the moment. I know we've got that relegation thing, but nobody's expecting us to beat Arsenal. There's no pressure on us, but there's so much on them. If they drop points to us, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow against Wolves. If they drop points against Wolves, the pressure would be even bigger when they come to play us. And if they drop points again, they could be second by the end of the week. And that is what will kill them off. And, that would give us a bounce, because all of a sudden, if we're beating Arsenal, if they've ended up in second, we're going up the table all of a sudden. All of a sudden, the roles reverse. They're depressed and we're starting to be happy again. I think if we go for it and we try to win the game, I think Spurs fans will be happy.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement. I think is one of them, isn't it? It's all about attitude. Tottenham have to go into the game thinking they can win. If we set up not to lose, I think the Spurs fans will soon turn. We have to go and we have to attack. And yes, man for man, Arsenal are a better side. Of course they are. They're top of the league for a reason. But for me, we have to stop them playing, and it's not easy to do in this day and age, but get in there first, a couple of tackles, hit a few players in the air. We need a Polina to go into a Declan Rice in the first couple of minutes and hit him 10 foot in the air. Hopefully not get booked for it, but they just need to know that we're in for a fight. We're here to play. If we roll over like we did at the Emirates and have our belly tickled, it's just not good enough. Man for man, Arsenal are a better side, no doubt about it. But I actually think Spurs can get at them. I really do. I don't think Arsenal are the free-flowing footballing side. They are, they're good at set pieces. They're a good team. They're an organised team. But they're not out of this world. I think they're there for the taking if we can get in their faces, a bit like Brentford did. If we can get in their faces, I think we've got every chance. But of course, we've got to be at our very best and hope, for me, that Arsenal have a slightly off day.
I think as well, when you look at the games that they dropped points, Brentford were in their faces and Brentford should have won, by the way. When Sunderland were in their faces and really, really pressed them, they didn't like it. Nottingham Forest, they struggled. They drew 0-0, didn't they, with Nottingham Forest as well. There's so many examples of when they're getting pressed and when they're getting harassed and they're not allowed to bully the opposition. That's when their nerves start kicking in, especially if they don't score a goal in the first half. And then the second half starts dragging on and they're thinking, shit, we're going to drop points again. Their nerves start kicking in and they're there for the taking, like you say. So it's not impossible to get a result, but we have to be at our best. And we have a lot of players missing. It's not like we can bring on subs when we're getting tired either. We're not going to have that option. So we're going to have to really put it all in. Luckily, we've had 12 days rest. So 90 minutes shouldn't be an excuse for any of these players.
No, I agree. And we're also going to have to be clinical because we're not going to get too many chances. We haven't got a lot up front at the moment. So if and when we get chances, we've got to take them and we've got to keep us, obviously, goes without saying, we've got to keep Arsenal out at the other end. Let's go to question 3. And it is, how many wins do Spurs need to secure Premier League survival?
So I'd say, to be sure, I'd say we'd have to get 5 wins. I'd say 5 wins from 12. And quite coincidentally, I think that's how many wins Igor gets at each club when he tries to get them out of relegation. He tends to get 5 wins, 3 draws, and 1 loss, or something like that. And that's exactly what we need. So I think 5 wins would do it. That means West Ham would have to win 7 of the 12, which would
Yeah.
be a very tough task. It's not impossible, but then also Forest would have to win 6 or 7, or 5 or 6. Then Palace would have to win 5 or 6, and Leeds would have to win 5. So I'd say 5 would definitely secure us. If we got any more than that, if we got a few draws, we could probably end up in 12th, 11th place, away from relegation, and maybe we'd have less pressure playing in the Champions League as well. Because at the moment, obviously, this guy's been brought in to get us out of relegation. They've not even spoken about the Champions League. I don't think they're even bothered about it. I think they just want us to get away from that drop zone. I think if we got away from the drop zone, I think we'd be less worried about that, and then maybe be able to concentrate on the cup competition. But we'll see how it goes. It's not an easy fixture list, is it? You've got Arsenal, then you've got Fulham away, which we are absolutely terrible at playing at Craven Cottage. What the Crystal Palace game, I think we can win that because we're at home as well. But then we're going to Anfield, so it's not easy at all, but it's not impossible either. What do you think, mate?
No, there's a lot of tough games, isn't it? I think what we've not got to do is panic if we lose the next 2. Like you say, Arsenal's always a tough game. And then Fulham away, like you say, we are terrible at Craven Cottage. So we've got to try and be calm. I think four wins will probably, I mean, it might be tight, but I think that will probably keep us safe. Maybe a couple of draws in there as well. And it's not, you know, it's not too much to ask, I don't think, in 12 games. If he wins 1 in every 3, or wins 1, draws 1, loses 1 in every 3, I think that keeps us up comfortably. Like you say, it's not just West Ham. Forest have then got to match what we do or better. Leeds have got to match what we do. Palace have pretty much got to match what we do as well. So I think, and Brighton are dropping like a stone as well. They can't buy a win at
And
the
we've got to
moment.
play
And
them as well, haven't we?
we've
Yeah,
got to play Brighton at home. So
yeah.
yeah, I think 4 wins. If we can win at home to Palace, home to Leeds, home to Forest, and home to Brighton, I think that keeps us up because that's all the teams in and around us as well. So I think that should be enough.
Yeah, I agree. I think that luckily we've got to play all the teams around us, so it's in our hands.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
also we're the 5 points above the drop zone. I hate talking about this because I never thought this would happen, but
yeah.
it is what it is, and we are there and thereabouts. And if any Spurs fan thought we wasn't in a relegation battle, then I don't know what to say, because if we kept Thomas Frank, we would have definitely been dragged into that bottom 3. 100% think that would happen. Imagine Thomas Frank going into this North London derby right now. How would you be feeling then?
Well, I'm not confident at all.
No,
Not confident at
exactly.
all. Yeah, no, I'm really confident now with this manager. Like I say, I don't even know too much about him, to be honest, but he's already instilling a bit of confidence. He's a big guy. He's, like you say, he's got a pretty good record at the teams he's been at least starting. Might
Yeah,
have ended badly, but managers get sacked when they end badly. So it is what it is. We will see what happens, mate. Thank you so much for joining me.
no problem
Really
at all, mate.
appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much. Smash a like, hit a subscribe for both channels, and we will see you on the next one. And as always, come on, you
Come on, you
Spurs.
Spurs.